Check to make sure your project directory is set to a folder called Breakdown. Click OK, go to File, and load a scene from the Scenes folder called Breakdown1.fxs. In the previous section, we laid down extreme keyframes, which were snapshots of an animation. In this particular one, we made a square inchworm its way across the grid. If extremes are snapshots of an animation that define what it's supposed to do, then breakdowns connect extremes together in useful ways. Breakdown is a very powerful keyframe. It allows you to alter the style of the animation dramatically with just one single keyframe. Let's check our settings here. Make sure our channel edit is set to all channels. We'll zoom in a bit. We'll click into the Edit tab, go to the keyframe editing, and double check to make sure our spline edit is set to all channels. Close that back down. Click into the Animate tab. If we middle mouse click and highlight our box, and we scale our graph to the view, we can see that we've added extremes, and the extremes were set to ease in and out between them two, so it looked like it was actually inchworming away. We're going to enhance this animation with a few passing positions that make this box look like it's squashing and stretching and actually crawling, instead of just a static box that's easing in and out from one position to the next. Middle mouse click on the spline block to open it up, and you can see the tension is set to 1. While the box is highlighted, let's toggle Scale, and if we right click on the X, Y, and Z, we can make them visible in the 3D view. Tap the A key to center our selection and move in. If we click the target icon, we can keep track of this box as we play through the animation. It'll just keep the camera right on the box. So we're going to go in between these two extremes and lay down a passing position. While we have scale activated, we'll scale down on Y and out on Z, so it's really long because it's stretching to get to the next position. When we added this keyframe, it maintained the tension from the previous keyframe and the next keyframe. If we set this tension to -1, it does exactly the opposite. Instead of easing out and in, it speeds up. When a negative tension is applied, we get the same transition between our two extremes, but we can still keep our passing position in the right spot. So with passing position, he squashes down to reach the next position, slows back up again, and hits his cue. Go in between the next two extremes, and we'll drop another passing position down. Make sure scale is activated. Scale down on Y, and stretch it on Z. Switch to a top view here, and rotate it on heading so he matches more closely his path. We need to set the tension to -1 so we maintain the speed transition between our two extremes. Go in between the next two extremes. We'll rotate on heading to keep it in the same path. Go back to a perspective view here. We'll activate scale. We'll stretch out on Z and down on Y. Set the tension to -1 so we maintain our speed, ease in and ease out from the extremes. Go to the middle of the last two extremes. We'll scale down on Y and out on Z. Rotate it on heading so he matches his pathway here. Set the tension to -1. The graph looks a little strange, but if you think about how the acceleration starts, it starts to make sense. Let's turn off target, and we'll zoom out and watch this guy crawl. It's amazing what one single passing position can do to the style of the animation. Go to File. We're going to save this scene as Breakdown1A.fxs.